nothing wrong with picking a team that you want to win.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're just cheering.
There's no point of watching the finals if you're not going to pick a team.
Okay, that's not true.
I
But
mean,
it can make it enjoyable. It's just
makes it
personal
boring.
preference, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun rooting for somebody.
It is.
And people were calling everyone bandwagon jumpers, and I was talking to Tanner. I was like, "Listen, we're used to picking people. We are used to picking teams to root for in championship games because we're Dallas fans, you know." So
You
Yeah,
just dissed
Cowboys.
yourself, man.
yeah, so we had to. I mean, that's the truth. So we're used to picking other teams, and I just got lucky and had the Lakers in the finals with the past like 15 years. But I mean,
Yeah.
even in
Yeah.
baseball, like I'm a Cardinals fan, and I got lucky in 2006. They were, I mean, they were there before that, but
That's a really long time ago if you think about it.
yeah, I know. I can't believe it's already been
6 years.
years since the Cardinals won the World Series last.
It's been ridiculous.
I'll tell you something that got me. Okay, so after the game, and they're doing the interviews with all the Maverick players, right? And I look at Chase and I say, I wonder if Jason Kidd's going to announce his retirement tonight. So they start interviewing Jason Kidd. They're like, "How many years do you think you got in the tank?" And he goes, "Oh, maybe 2 or 3." I look at Chase and Chase looks at me and we're like, "Are you being serious?"
Y'all,
Jason,
he was
man?
saying before the finals how he doesn't want to retire, even if win or lose.
Yeah, but it's the thing. It's the thing that like maybe because considering how long he's played, what it was like 15 years in the league, and he's like his numbers have gradually gone down. It's the kind of thing that you'd think that he would retire since at the top. You would want to retire at the top.
If you want to retire, because for instance, okay, let's put this in a football perspective. Okay, Emmitt Smith, he was at the top, but then once his days in Dallas were over, he went and played for the Cardinals and was oh my gosh.
Well,
he was the worst.
it's not about like retiring at the top, like the situation of retiring. This is their life. They love playing the sport. Why would you just leave
Well, yeah, I'm
because
not
you're at the
questioning his
top?
love for the sport, but the thing is Jason Kidd is going to go down as one of the best that ever played, and
One of the best point guards.
yeah, one of the best players, and but like I don't know, I just don't, I think that it would be good for him just maybe. I mean, I know he probably loves playing and everything, considering how he has played it for so long, but. Then again, well, it would stink if he gets out there next year and then blows his knee out, and then he has to like have a really sad ending to his career.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you don't. I think we overdo the end of their career. I mean, if he wants to play, let him play. I mean, I would. And now, if I was in his position and I felt as good as he did, he's feeling great. He just won the finals. He was feeling great throughout the finals, physically. I would stay and play. Like mentality, I'm feeling good, and physically, I'm feeling good. So why not stay and play? Because he's gonna get the itch anyway.
Because
no
it
matter
might
what
end up like
happens.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, you end up like Brett Favre in a crumbled mess.
I don't know. Well, Brett Favre had like the best season of his career the second time he came back.
But before this
Yeah,
season,
but then after that,
Well, then
Yeah.
after that, yeah, but he still was able to still have that season. Maybe Jason Kidd's got one of those seasons in him.
yeah, but look at this. Brett Favre, we praise him. Everyone has praised him and his talents. But this year, like, the only time we ever talk about him is making anybody talks about is joking reference. I'd hate to see that happen to someone like Jason Kidd.
What? I didn't know. I don't know what you just said.
yeah. Who are you referring to?
Brett Favre, anytime
Oh,
someone
yeah.
even talks about him now, it's joking reference. And I just hate to see that happen to Jason Kidd. I think it'd just be best if he went out on top.
Like, what kind of jokes are you talking about?
Well, I mean, like Brett Favre. I mean,
I have never really heard like a Brett Favre joke.
I've
heard people.
comments.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, just
sarcastic
referring.
comments, stuff like that, like joking references, not exactly jokes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't think that defines his career.
But
That'll
say-
define his career for the next few months, and people will still then finally go back to remembering what Brett Favre really was.
But like
Well,
the
yeah,
thing-
that's true.
So I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's only been retired for a few months, so I mean, it shouldn't. In about a year, it'll go back to being the playful dude that was an awesome guy that played football. I mean,
Yeah. Speaking of jokes, though, there have been like an absolute assault. There's been an absolute assault on LeBron with LeBron jokes.
it gets old really
Yeah, it
fast.
does. But, I want to name some of my favorite ones right now. I have a list of them right here.
Oh, brother.
These are pretty funny. LeBron James is set to release his own line of headphones. The sound quality is amazing as it has no ring. LeBron James was just traded to the Florida Panthers. He should be wildly successful since in the NHL there are only 3 periods.
Wow.
Yeah, and I saw LeBron before the game, and I asked for $1. He gave me 75 cents. I said, "Where's the rest?" He replied, "I don't have a fourth quarter."
Oh,
Yeah, I love. I mean, there's been so many LeBron James going on. Like there was a
I'm
thing on
loving the
Twitter.
Mark Cuban jokes.
Oh, dude, I was laughing so hard at some of the things that people were saying about Cuban on Facebook or on Twitter. We'll talk about that in a second. Here's my favorite LeBron James one though. Why didn't LeBron James go to college? Because he wouldn't show up for the finals.
Ah,
That's funny.
Yeah, but Mark Cuban, the stuff on Twitter going on about Mark Cuban was, I mean, Tanner, you were in my house whenever I was reading those. I was like cracking up the whole time.
okay. Let's talk about the one about the small village.
Okay, yeah, there was one that I posted on Facebook that I'd seen on Twitter. It was the amount of cocaine that Mark Cuban is going to snort tonight will be enough to kill a small village. There's so many stuff like that. People saying that Mark Cuban's going to be caught by TMZ drunk and high, peeing all over a cop car and stuff like that.
Mark
No,
Cuban
Mark
didn't, but
Cuban
Deshaun
told him-
Stevenson was.
Yeah, and it ends up it was Sean Stevenson that gets arrested.
No, they
Hold
said
on.
that Mark Cuban slept with the trophy, and I look
Yeah,
at Chase.
that actually happened though.
Yeah.
I look at Chase and go, he probably drank out of it.
Yeah, probably.
Sean Payton slept with the trophy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. We were watching ESPN, and they said Mark Cuban reportedly slept with the trophy last night, and Tanner's like, that's kind of weird. And I was like, well, Sean Payton did the exact same thing.
Yeah, when they
And
won
he said it on the America's game. He's like, well, I slept. That was the best night of sleep I ever had with the Lombardi Trophy next to me.
Did y'all
I don't
hear?
think it's weird.
Did y'all hear about what Mark Cuban wants to do? He wants to give them something other than rings.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I heard about that this morning. Dirk
What's- what is
Nowitzki
it?
was saying that's kind of I don't really want to do that. He had to go on ESPN just to answer a question about that. It's really dumb.
What was he wanting to give him?
He didn't tell him, but he said I want to give you something other than rings. So he doesn't want to give him rings. Everybody's like, dude, but rings are like the tradition. If you get a ring, then you can show it off in people's face. Like, dude, I got a ring, you don't.
Well, I wonder what he's got in mind. That's kind of weird. There's so
NBA
many things I
Finals
could say right now.
cupcake.
I know.
Yeah.
More Mark Cuban jokes.
Yeah, more jokes coming from Twitter from me here in a
Probably
little
like
while.
a gold koozie for like their beers or something.
For the beers, yeah, or
Give him
like
a
a
pipe,
bong or something, a championship bong.
Wow.
championship pipe.
Yeah, all right, let's move on. All right, I was thinking early. What was it? Okay, I saw yesterday that Deshaun Stevenson called LeBron James classless after losing to the Mavericks in the finals. I thought that was funny. Deshaun Stevenson shouldn't call anybody classless
I agree.
because Deshaun Stevenson is kind of a what we like to call a punk on this
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing that I was kind of bothered by any of the finals. See, I'm not a LeBron hater, and I don't pick out these random things that he does and makes, and I don't contort them to make them look like they were horrible things. I just didn't like how he and Wade were like making fun of Dirk that one time. You know how
It's not they were making fun of him. They just like Dwayne Wade had to they both had to comment on this stupid thing. They're blowing it out of proportion like they do everything else.
yeah, but still, I just didn't care for it.
It doesn't matter. It's nothing important. We make jokes all the time. We don't have people like branding us for making a little.
Yeah, but who are we?
Really, exactly.
Who are we? We're not anything different than him.
We're not being interviewed.
He's LeBron James.
So
He's the best basketball player on earth.
he's a human being just like we
He
are.
has a camera on him all the time. Well, if he's gonna do that kind of thing, do it in the hotel room.
Hold on. Look, you're doing what everybody else did. Just like people freaking out about.
Well, just because
Hold on,
everyone else
hold
is doing it
on,
doesn't
hold
make it wrong.
No.
Just because
Yes, it does.
Just because people are saying it doesn't make it wrong.
Yes, it does. For what people.
Because
hold
it's
on.
not what you like to hear.
No. Okay, maybe that's it. But let me try to explain myself. When people were freaking out over LeBron James leaving Cleveland and whatever, and calling him a
Bro, I
bad
thought that
guy
was
and calling him like the
ridiculous.
worst guy ever, what has LeBron James done wrong? There are guys about
Nothing.
70, like half the athletes in all the sports have gone out and gotten drunk, done drugs and something, but nobody cares about that. But if LeBron James leaves his team and goes to a different one, everybody's freaking out, and everybody says he's like the devil now. He has done nothing wrong. I'm actually surprised LeBron James never been in any trouble with the law or anything like that. LeBron James has never really done anything truly morally wrong, except for what people call that he abandoned Cleveland, or sometimes he opens his mouth a little too much. That's about it.
I mean, honestly, I think there was nothing wrong with him leaving Cleveland.
Yeah,
I, mean,
I don't
it's his
either.
choice. It's his life. That's
I know.
just what I don't get.
I
I think
didn't have a problem with it either. I hated how, I mean, and people were claiming like